there needs to be a name for these types of videos that are incredibly popular, not just on TikTok, but on Twitter as well. They get millions of views for some reason, and it's the same format. You have a person with a microphone. He goes and he asks a pretty woman about what she desires in a man. And she's going to say something incredibly outrageous that only the top 1% of the men on the planet have to offer. And everyone acts shocked at this. And then the man asks the woman, well, what do you have to offer in return? And she says something like this.
How much money does a guy need to make in order to be with you, long term?
$250,000 a year, minimum.
Okay, $250,000 a year. What do you bring to the table?
A lot of things.
Name them, name them, name them.
This is one of them.
So that's all you got?
I'm out of here. I gotta get
You
McDonald's.
can get that from any girl, though.
No, I got a lot more than that, but I
You
don't
can
have
get
time.
a girl that doesn't need $250.
A girl that doesn't need $250?
Get the same thing, yes.
I need my McDonald's.
So, the first question is whether this video is real or not, or if she is joking or not. Like, obviously, she seems uncomfortable, doesn't want to do the interview. But let's assume that everything is true, right? Like, let's assume that she actually wants a man that gives her $250,000 a year. If you look at men that actually do earn $250,000 a year, most of them do happen to go with girls that look like this. So it's not really unreasonable for her to want this. You know, like if this is her aspiration and she can actually get with a guy, then, you know, that's her choice. I particularly do not think that it's a healthy lifestyle, because if you say that you only have to offer your body, right, then you're going to be treated as such. Like, you're not saying that you're going to be a good mother. You're not saying that you're going to be a good wife. You're not saying that you're looking for a long-term relationship. And the reality is that the people who do earn $250,000, the moment that, you know, her body starts to age, I mean, they're going to look for a replacement. And this is the type of culture that requires two to tango. But this is not the main reason that I decided to make the video. I'm more interested in the cultural aspect that's going on. Like, first of all, this type of female personality has absolutely no representation in modern day comic books or movies. I don't remember last time I saw a female character in Hollywood on the big screen, or even in a TV show, that goes like, I need my McDonald's. Right? Like, this type of personality of the lady that wants to date the $250,000 man a year with a beautiful, gorgeous body just simply does not exist in American fiction anymore. They do exist in reality. I mean, if you go on Twitch, you will find a lot of these ladies. You probably will find them on OnlyFans as well. I mean, they happen to be real, and most people probably know a lady like this in their real life. But for some reason, there is a strong gatekeeping when it comes to American culture from depicting this type of personality. And as unfortunate as it is, I am sad to say this, but this type of personality is actually more wholesome than what Marvel is putting out. Like, if I were to have to deal with Captain Marvel as a roommate, or this lady, you know, in a perfect universe, I would choose neither. But if I'm forced to, I would rather choose to watch a story about this lady or to live with her rather than someone like Captain Marvel. Is it just me, though? Do you guys not feel the same? Like, this type of personality, you know, as annoying as it can be, at least it's more relatable and more wholesome than, you know, seeing the stoic resting bitch face that's oozing with toxic masculinity and hyper violence. But anyway, right, this is not just the only thing that I wanted to comment on. Is the fact when she actually shows her rear to the camera and says that this is what she has to offer. It's interesting that if you go on ChatGPT, for example, and now that it can create images, you're asking the bot to make you, you know, like, let's say, a Californian lady that goes out to party and she has a nice ass. ChatGPT will tell you that this is not a respectful way to draw characters. It's not inclusive. It doesn't appreciate the fact that you're objectifying people. But in reality, these people do exist. Like, everyone happens to know at least a friend or a colleague or a classmate or whatever that behaves in this manner. Like they will flat out say, yeah, I have a gorgeous body and men like me. Like, what do you have to offer in a relationship? Well, this. I mean, there are so many women like it out there, but this is an effort on trying to make people pretend that reality doesn't exist. Like, it's trying to enforce the behavior on young men to, I don't know, be like those monkeys that place their hands on their eyes and fingers in their ears and have to pretend that they have never encountered a human being like this. And again, you know, I'm not making a judgment of whether it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just disgusted with the fact that culture is constantly trying to force people to deny reality. Like, this is almost everywhere, right? It's probably like what political correctness is trying to achieve. Like, you live your life, you see certain things, and then you are forced to pretend that you haven't seen those things, you haven't experienced them, you do not know that they are real, and if you talk about them, it's offensive. But in reality, like, if you go to an expensive nightclub, right, like, this type of behavior is not particular to the lady we are talking about. If you go to an expensive nightclub, this is like the normal. This is the standard. Like most women that go there, right? Like the upper middle class ladies, they have this mindset. There's an entire culture of this mindset. And again, it's not represented. And if you talk about it, you're considered to be misogynistic. Like, well, yeah, but I'm sorry, but it's part of humanity. Like, it's actually part of how human beings behave. And it's a subclass of people, you know, like you have the subculture of people who enjoy rock music, the subculture of people who enjoy goth. There is a subculture of women that, you know, they want to go out with rich men, and they are very proud in this, and they exist, yes. And obviously there's other subcultures of women that like to go to church, and they want to find a man that loves them. Which is also a subculture that's not represented. Did you notice that? Right? Like, the traditional waifu doesn't exist in mainstream movies or in TV shows anymore. In fact, Rachel Ziegler, who is portraying Snow White for Disney, is disgusted about the idea of romance. It's like, oh, the woman at the prince. No, like, the woman, she needs to spark the revolution. She needs to rise up against tyranny. She needs to take over the kingdom and govern. Like Angela Merkel, right? So like, both of these women, the extremes, I guess, but not necessarily the extremes, it's like subcultures of behavior, right? They're completely removed from entertainment or from any type of cultural medium. And in exchange, you have like, you have the promotion of the woman with the strong masculine jaw, the broad shoulders, the stern look, oozing with toxic masculinity. Like, that is the symbol that Hollywood is now constantly trying to portray. But anyway, I just found this to be incredibly interesting, so this is why I decided to talk about it. I'm also curious to see what you guys have to say about it, and maybe we can discuss a little bit further on a live stream. There's going to be a link into the description to the live stream. And also in the chat right now, if you're in the chat, there's like a blue thing appears, and if you click it, it will take you to the live stream. So anyway, thank you for watching, and take care.